At the heart of Martin Luther's theology is the conviction that human beings are totally dependent on God's omnipotent grace to rescue us from the bondage of the will by creating and decisively fulfilling every inclination to believe and obey. The debates of the 16th and 17th century about the freedom of the will and the bondage of the will were not peripheral to the Reformation. They were, at least in Martin Luther's estimation, foundational. He wrote a book, as you know, called The Bondage of the Will. It was an answer to Erasmus's book, The Freedom of the Will. And in 1537, 9 years before he died, he wrote to Wolfgang Capito his opinion about his writings and took stock of how he estimated them, and this is what he said. Regarding the plan to collect my writings in volumes, I am quite cool, not at all eager about it, because I would rather see them all devoured, for I acknowledge none of them to be really a book of mine, except, perhaps, the one on the bondage of the will and the catechism. Now that is absolutely astonishing. That's 40 volumes, maybe. I don't know how much he wrote after this. But his estimate of all that he had written was that it could go away. Don't let the bondage of the will go away. Why would he rank among all his labors this defense of the absolute enslavement of the human soul in sin and the demolition of Erasmus's view of free will? Why would he rank that book highest alongside the Catechism? Well, here's what he said to Erasmus. It is in the highest degree wholesome and necessary for a Christian to know whether or not his will has anything to do in matters pertaining to salvation. Indeed, let me tell you, that is the hinge on which our discussion turns. For if I am ignorant of the nature, extent, and limits of what I can and must do with reference to God, I shall be equally ignorant and uncertain of the nature, extent, and limits of what God can and will do for me. Now, if I am ignorant of God's works and power, I am ignorant of God Himself. And if I do not know God, I cannot worship, praise, give thanks, or serve Him. For I do not know how much I should attribute to myself and how much to Him. So do your people know how much they should attribute to themselves and how much they should attribute to God? It will make all the difference in how they love Him, praise Him, obey Him, worship Him.